Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. Today it's Monday Morning Grind, brought to you by Blackout Coffee. I can't tell you how happy I am. They have K-Cups now. Getting a little low, I've got to get some more, but this is like a heaven sent. Love these. Also with Blackout Coffee, don't forget that you can save money on your order if you use the code. I'll have it down below and in the description. It's always in the description of every video. But if you're somebody like me who ordering coffee gets to be a pain to do it all the time, they have a monthly subscription where you can just set it up and it'll just automatically come. Check it out. I think you'll actually like that deal better. But you can get that all through the link down below. It'll make it easy for you. With that said, let's get on to the news. And we're going to go to New York today. Chucky Schumer, old crying Chucky Schumer, wants the feds to change the definition of a firearm so that it affects all of our AR, AK builds and 80% lowers. So Schumer has reached out to the Department of Justice and the ATF, crying, whining like he usually does, about how ghost guns have become an issue and could get into the hands of bad people. Could get into it. But what he wants to do is he wants to have every single part of the AR, of any type of build, part of the definition of firearm, thus making every single piece registerable. And right from his own website here, I'll have a link down below. It says, Schumer has called on the DOJ and the ATF to immediately amend the current policy and define frames and receivers bought to create ghost guns as firearms, which would require sellers to register the parts they sell, register, confiscation, and to require purchasers to undergo a background check. So if you buy a pistol grip, a plastic pistol grip, you have to go through a background check. Really? He wants a front sight to be a registerable part of a firearm. You can do more harm with a car. In fact, cars have killed far more people in our country. But if I go down to, AutoZone and buy some brakes, my brake pads, I don't have to get insurance on them. I don't have to register them and put a license plate on them. This guy's an idiot, but that's what they're pushing for. They want every single part of a firearm. They want you to register it so they know who has what and where they have it. So when they want to call in that check, they can go back and get them and confiscate them. I'll also read you a little quick bit about, this is actually from the letter that he sent to Attorney General Barr and Acting Director Regina Lombardo of the ATF. I write to direct your immediate attention to a disturbing phenomenon of unmarked, unregistered, and therefore untraceable firearms proliferating throughout the country. People have been building their own firearm since the start of the country, since the colonial days. But Chucky's just an idiot, and this is the agenda. I'll continue. These so-called ghost guns pose a danger to public safety as they have the potential to end up in the hands of convicted criminals, domestic abusers, minors, and other individuals otherwise prohibited from purchasing handguns under the existing federal law. They also could potentially buy flamethrowers. They could potentially have a tank. Should we make all these things illegal because bad people could potentially get them? But people don't see the forest through the trees sometimes. He continues, the Department of Justice and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms must take prompt action to rectify this regulatory failure and protect American lives. He goes through a whole bunch of political BS and, yanking at the purse strings of everybody's emotional baggage. But then he asks this at the end. I request that DOJ and ATF immediately take the following steps to address this imminent threat. 1. Amend the definition of firearm frame or receiver in 27 CFR section 478.11 such that it applies to any part of a firearm which provides housing for the trigger group, including any such part, 1, that is designed, intended, or marketed to be used in an assembled operable firearm, or 2, that without the expenditure of substantial time and effort can be converted for the use of an assembled operable firearm. And number 2, provide all available data on the frequency in which federal authorities are encountering these so-called ghost guns and efforts on the part of your respective agencies to collaborate with state and local law enforcement within 30 days. Should this information not be readily available, explain why and describe strategies on how to improve collaboration, monitoring, and data collection. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. Sincerely, Charles E. Schumer, United States Senator. Well, Chucky, you're an idiot. See, what I think the bigger picture is here that he's alluded to, but if you're not paying attention or you're not, if you don't follow this channel, you don't probably know this. But a former ATF agent had, and even a couple lawsuits have come up in the last couple of years, attacking cases where people were charged with possession of a firearm where they had lowers of ARs, because according to the definition of a firearm, a lower is not a firearm. It's just not, because it doesn't house the chamber, it doesn't have the threaded area which a barrel attaches to, which are all part of that definition. And like I said, I did a video on that. I'll have that video above. Please watch that if you haven't, because the ATF right now is scrambling to address that deficiency, because it's out of the bag now, and there are a few actual criminal cases that were overturned because of that definition. So old Chucky here is throwing the smoke screen up and trying to get them another avenue at redefining what an AR or firearm is to include all the parts of an AR. It's so easy to see through this stuff. I mean, they're so transparent in ways, it's just ridiculous. But people eat it up. People eat it up. That's why it's on us to educate each other about the actual truth. So if you could, please pass this along. It would mean a lot to me. It would help get the truth out there about what old Chucky Schumer's really trying to do. And he wants everything registered so that everything can be confiscated, including your little skeletonized trigger shoe. Can you imagine that? Could you imagine going to like Auto Palace and ordering like a blinker bulb and then having to register that and pay insurance on that? It's just crazy. But alas, that's what they're stooping to next. Hope you all have a fantastic Monday. Hope you start the day with Blackout Coffee. Don't forget that they have those K-Cups now. Whee! That's music to my ears, man. At least 2 a day. Till we see each other again, I am Jared, the humble host of Guns and Gadgets. Be safe, stay vigilant, carry your weapons. Take care, everybody.